Congrats to you both on Motor City. I love a film that takes big swings, and this one definitely does. And Alan, early on in this film, you have these beautiful flowing locks in a flashback, and then you have some longer, uncontrolled hair in prison. How was it filming with the long hair? Did it make you want to change up your look any?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I look, I when I approach these roles, I really want to honor like who these characters are and what they're going through, and a lot of that comes through, hair, costume, and that kind of thing. And there was a real opportunity here to transition through time, and we just embraced it, and had an amazing team helping, and so I enjoyed sitting, through a few hours of wig fittings and that kind of thing, to be able to bring that kind of thing to life. It was a blast.
It's a good look. And Shailene, this film is mostly free of dialogue, and early on we see this domestic bliss between you and Alan, and we don't hear dialogue, but we can tell that they're just in love. You're playing on the couch, just doing small things. We often focus on the big things that actors do. So how is it making these small, grounded moments feel so real? Because that really sets the stakes for everything to come.
Yeah, thank you for noticing that. That was it felt like an important stage to set. So you understood, right, the passion and the lengths that Alan's character would go through in order to avenge this love that was sort of taken and this love that was lost. Because it was an independent film, there were a lot of small moments that we didn't get the chance to film. So the ones that we had the time to do, we really I don't remember, Alan, actually, if that scene on the couch was scripted or if that was something that we all sort of were just like, here, now we have the time, let's shoot it. There were a few moments that we kind of picked up like that because it did feel important to capture the simplicity of domestication and how the love that she shared with Alan's character was a love that was grounded and a love that was safe and a love that was seen and shared versus what she shared with Ben Foster's character was so much more about this sort of intoxication and toxicity and not necessarily a healthy dynamic, but one that was fueled by passion and fueled by a primal rawness. And so separating those two was what those small moments were hopefully meant for. And I'm glad that they came across to you that way.
Yeah, the Foster romance is also it's you also get to wear it's also fueled by a lot of beautiful dresses. You get to really
There
change
were a
up
lot
your
of
look
beautiful
throughout there.
dresses.
And Alan, you obviously have no issue letting your physicality do the talking, but I was really impressed by just how much emotion you are able to convey in this film without the dialogue. So what was the challenge there of just really let it for the dramatic scenes, really letting that speak out rather than the action, because there isn't any dialogue here besides like 5 lines.
Yeah, yeah. On the one hand, like it feels like dialogue gives you, an anchor to hold on to in the scene and centers you. But, it's funny, as soon as you're free of that and, you really just you have no option but to sit with your emotions. It's like honestly that was rather freeing to me. I was worried about whether or not this performance would read or come across as like stoic or boring. But anyway, I'm glad it resonated with you because that sort of is the fear when you don't have the dialogue to rely on. But I rather enjoyed it.
Yeah, I didn't find him stoic at all. That's what really impressed me about the film. And Shailene, you mentioned working with Ben Foster. I just think he's one of the most underrated working actors right now. And some of your scenes are fun, like when you're at the like nightclub partying with him, and many are not fun. But what kind of just stood out about Ben as a scene partner?
Alan said something earlier, and as he started talking about Ben, he sort of swayed his shoulders. He's like, Ben has a process that's very,
You have
and
to
I
move.
think that's actually the best way to like you nailed it, Alan, because that is Ben really like he enters a set as, and it's not that he's method, he just embodies his physicality, kind of owns a space, at least as Reynolds, as this character. And so he would roll in with his like mustache and his speaker playing, blasting Donna Summer. And he would, his chest hairs exploding out of his open button up. And like, just looking at him, I was like, I understand 1975. Like, I get it. I am there. And I agree with you. I think he is one of the most underrated actors of our generation. And what's so profound about him is that there's no pretense. Like and I would say this about myself, and I've met other people now, producers and writers and filmmakers and other actors who have worked with him. And I think the message has been the same across the board, which is that I'm a better actor having worked with Ben Foster. There is something that person does that must take such a toll on him that I'm not sure like I know how to do. But he really up levels, I believe, everyone around him because he's so committed to each, finite detail of who his character is.